Welcome back to the Margaret River Pro. We've now moved into the round of 16, heat 3, hitting the lineup with the current world number 2. It's excellent surfing to me. We'll see where the judges go with it. But Paige Hareb had this one early on. 2.67 for this ride button.
Nice snap out of the top. Both girls, goofy footers.
Going up against one of the veterans, Caroline Marks, and Paige Hareb at it for a spot in the quarterfinals here, and Caroline getting started early. Paige already has a number on the board, but what about the finish to this ride? Ronnie Blakey with Barton Lynch. What a start for the teenager.
Wow, that board looked so solid underfoot as she was driving through the rail. It was just set clean and seared through the water. Great starter, showing an enormous amount of confidence. And why wouldn't she? Most probably is achieving beyond her own expectations. First snap out of the top, drives into this second one, hits the lip. And then this last turn in that bowly steep section just hooked it around, kept the board right underneath her, nice and tight. And she's got that unique style. So much is said of what happens with your arms, and there's this unique approach that Caroline has that just sets what she does apart and gives it a flair. That is something that has shocked even the most seasoned of campaigners this year. And that was critical, but completed perfectly. And you can see, I think she's pretty happy with that.
Through for her first championship tour win, and it was the surfers that she had to overcome there at Durambar that made that result so impressive, getting past Stephanie Gilmore and Carissa Moore on her way to a win. But Paige Hareb, Paige getting the jump over Caroline in the final event last season. Marks up again, big bottom turn, straight up into the pocket. And hammers the second section as well, backing up the 8.3 with something exceptional. Barton, I've touched on it a couple of times. I've made mention of it. To me, this is the best backhand that we've ever seen on the championship tour. I want to get your thoughts, thinking back to some of the greats that we've seen in the past.
We go on the replay, drop straight down. You can see that bottom turn coming from way behind the whitewater, which means she's going to be right in that critical part of the wave. The second turn, it had to happen fast, it had to happen seamlessly, and it did. We watch this one. Look where that bottom turn starts, way behind the whitewater, which means that by the time she gets up into that face, she's in that perfect position. And a little free fall drop out of the top. Now she drives into that bottom turn, lifts, lip launches it, just floats across the top in that super slow motion. At the time, it felt fast and erratic, but in that slow motion, you can see the composure that she brought to both of those maneuvers. She's here, she's doing it, and it's so spectacular, where it may take people some time to warm to that level of performance, but not the Caroline. She's just come out with it straight away. Here's Paige trying to make something happen on the inside here, Blakey.
Well, the 28-year-old gave Carissa Moore a good run for her money over at Bali.
And I think she's got it. Let's have a look at this one on the replay, and we'll talk a little bit about a potential approach that she could take to better her scores. Beautiful off the top there, tight, back into the pocket, another little hit, and as she finishes this one up.
Getting a 9th place, Caroline Marks, she fell short over at stop 3. Fell out of the mix to Silvana Lima. But other than that, she's holding a semi-final finish from Bells Beach. That victory on the Gold Coast, she's right there. She's in event-winning form, and that was on her first 2 waves.
Amazing scores, a major combination that Paige Hareb finds herself in at this point. I would not look at her, I would not pay her any attention. I would just focus totally internally and make sure I was sitting where I need to do and get the big wally ones and get crazy. Go down swinging, fall or nines would be the recipe.
Well, Paige up at the moment, you can tell she's digging in a little bit harder. She's trying to get that board redirected up into the pocket as soon as she possibly can. On her first few waves, she got out on the face a little bit. Her turns weren't matching the size and the speed. On this occasion, she does get tighter to the pocket, but again, she's got a tapered wall here.
And again, coming from behind the whitewater, so that meant that there was that critical nature. We know that how good her backhand is too, and she's powerful out of the bottom, and given good positioning and good canvas, I'm sure she could do it.
Here goes Caroline again.
It's a long way back though.
And you can just tell, even on that wave, that Caroline eventually wanted nothing to do with and opted for priority instead. Bronte McCauley taking on Stephanie Gilmore. Last time they met in competition, it was a draw. Steph got the jump on Bronte in a countback just on the strength of the highest scoring ride. But here we go. Marks up once again, trying to improve on an 8.33. But the work has been done so well on the first two rides that Caroline's basically just using her priority now to limit Paige's opportunities. Fitzgibbons, a couple of victories there. Carissa Moore also had a couple of incredible event runs over there at Cloudbreak. But I just love that low centre of gravity. In particular, I love the bottom turn. She doesn't drive off the bottom too hard.
Looked hard for Caroline, that's for sure.
Had 10 excellent scores in her career prior to this heat. Now she's got 13.
Oh, that board looks so positive under her feet, so controlled. And it looks like it's got a little more volume, a little more area up front, like we see in the Ghost model of John Florence's, that gives that extra drive and projection in these bumpier waves. And this surfing has just been, what a treat to watch. Look at that turn. See how the board stayed on top of the water and kept squirting and giving opportunity, and it wants to go. The board's like, keep giving it to me, let's go. You can do more. And she just lit that wave up and has lit this whole heat up. Incredible performance.
She really does just kind of glide through those bottom turns and just harnesses all that speed and saves it for the big hits. As we see Paige kicking out on the outside there.
It's a very good point, because if you overpower a turn and you sink that board too deep into the wave, you lose speed.
Paige opts to go. She needs to make this one count. Pushing hard. Up into the pocket, giving it everything she's got, but that wave did lay down a little bit on, so desperately searching for.
Oh, and there's the one she wanted right behind her. Except
Caroline's
it did close out.
Through.
Yeah.
So our surfers making their way out, waiting on numbers to come through. And right now, though, we're enjoying watching Caroline Marks really take main break apart. Been some amazing goofy-footed performances today. And we're going to see Paige Hareb again try and break this combination. A better looking wave for the Kiwi. Drives up into that section. Solid finishing turn there. And she'll kick out on the inside. Her 8th year on the Championship Tour, and as we mentioned, she did win this contest back in 2008 as a qualifying series event, but she can't get past Caroline Marks.